You know, most New Yorkers walk down the street, they have one goal in mind, and that's simply getting to their destination. But one book out today suggests that you take a moment to talk to strangers, claiming everyday random encounters can generate profitable business and personal relationships. Here to talk about his new book, Talk to Strangers, is the author, David Topus. Welcome, David. Good to have you,
Chuck. Nice to be here.
So, you know, we've been so focused and so transfixed by using social media to try to network. You're saying, forget that. Do it face to face.
Well, I don't say quite forget it, but I do say that social media is limited as far as how far it will get you in relationships. It's great for initiating relationships, and certainly there are many connections people make online. But I say that the real action is outside your door every day, in the random encounters that you make as you go through your day.
Where are the best places to make those encounters?
Well, you know, really anywhere that you go. Now, travel venues are terrific. Airplanes, airports, train stations, bus stops, and so on. Because people are out and about, and they're active, and they're doing things, and generally available. But I've met people in coffee shops, I've met people in elevators, I've met people at car washes and supermarkets. It's just a matter of being aware of the people around you and realizing that you may meet someone important.
I mean, there's a little bit of risk in that when you just walk up to a stranger and introduce yourself and start chatting, you know. But how do you make an approach so you're non-threatening and you kind of break through the normal barrier one encounters?
Well, I think that people are available for connecting, and just below the surface, I call it piercing that veneer of isolation. And I think that partly because of social media, people are even more available for that human connection. And in the public venue, if you simply say something insightful or give someone a compliment or make an observation about what's happening in the moment, the other party is very likely to respond.
So then how do you close the deal and actually make either a friend or make a business deal out of that casual encounter?
That's a great question. And many people say, oh, I talk to strangers all the time, you know.
Yeah.
And many people do. The difference here is, and that's where this book comes in, this book is really a field guide for not just how to make connections, but how to leverage those connections into productive or profitable relationships, personally or business-wise.
Yeah. I understand you like to troll the airlines, though. You like to fly places, but you're not really going there, simply to meet people on planes.
Well, that's true. I have, over the years, booked flights to no particular destination, but really just to make connections up there in that first-class cabin. And connections I have made, I mean, over the years, I've booked and billed hundreds of thousands of dollars in consulting and training fees with people I've met on airplanes, in the air.
Did you really go to South Africa over a weekend?
I did.
Here to South Africa and back just to meet people on the plane?
I did. I once went from Atlanta to Los Angeles via New York, Boston, Minneapolis, Denver, and LA.
Okay, so what was your best connection you made in a random way like that?
Well, I flew from Atlanta to New York once, and I sat next to somebody on the plane who ended up being a president of a pretty good-sized company. And we made the connection on the flight. We exchanged contact information. I sent him an email when I got to my hotel room that night saying it was nice to meet you and when can we get together again? He said, well, contact me when you get back to Atlanta. The next day I was flying back to Atlanta. Guess who my seatmate was? Same guy.
Same guy?
So we finished, we did the deal right there.
That's
so that was a pretty good situation.
Now, is it easier to approach somebody your own gender? Or are there different rules? If you're going to approach a woman, for example, you're a man, you approach a woman.
Yeah.
Do you have different rules for trying to make that approach?
Well, you know, men and women tend to see the world slightly differently. I think most of us know that. And it's important to keep a business connection a business connection. There's a time and a place for everything. And when it comes to random connecting, at least the type that we're talking about here, it's about making business connections. And, you know, you just want to keep the conversation on the professional level, at least to begin with.
All right, David Topus, thank you. It's Talk to Strangers is the name of the book. Thanks for coming in.
You bet. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Still ahead as we continue, Woodstock at the Beach, a preview of the big music festival that's going down at the shore this weekend.